Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Four Corners podcast on the Four Corners Network. I am your host with the most, from coast to coast, from across the pond to far and beyond, from the North Pole to the South Pole, and goddamn, that's a mouthful, pro wrestler Chris Rex, and usually I'm joined by my former tag team partner and my best friend, John Pun. Unfortunately, he's not with us today. I am riding solo, and I hope all of you enjoyed your week. This may be a short episode because I am doing it solo. I hope you guys like my little setup here. I've been trying to tweak things a bit and look have a little bit more appeal to the show. We had some crazy news. It's been a crazy week. Last week, me and John Pun discussed Vince McMahon returning to WWE as a member of the board of directors, and pretty much his deal is anything to do with the sales as far as television product and this overall sale of the company, which has been huge news, and there's been a lot of rumors going around, so we're just going to dive right into it. First things first is Stephanie McMahon has once again left the WWE. Now, she had taken a leave of absence earlier in 2022, and when Vince McMahon announced his resignment from WWE, Stephanie McMahon came back as well as Triple H. And I find it interesting that now that Vince McMahon is back, Stephanie McMahon has resigned once again. And with her resignation, it leaves Nick Khan, the sole CEO of WWE. And like I said, this week has been crazy with this news surrounding WWE. Stephanie McMahon leaving the WWE. Triple H is still in the WWE. Nick Khan is the sole owner. I mean, this is just craziness going on. There's been a lot of rumors based on the sale of WWE. Again, nothing has been officially confirmed. There's been talks that they've been talking to Disney, ESPN, NBC, and the big one that's got everyone talking is the possible sale to Saudi Arabia. I mean, that's big, guys. Let's talk about that, the WWE sale. Again, there's the rumors of the sale to Saudi Arabia. Again, that is just rumor right now. There's been nothing solid as far as the sale of WWE. There were a lot of rumors going on about it. And if the sale does happen with Saudi Arabia, that would take the company private again, which means it will no longer be on the New York Stock Exchange. It will not be a publicly traded company anymore. It will be a private company, just like it was before 1999. But TMZ earlier in the week had debunked these rumors and pretty much said there's nothing official yet, as per people on the inside and deals with this. So as of right now, all of this is just rumor. TMZ has debunked it, but this is all it's just madness. I really can't find any other way to describe it. In other news, okay, we have William Regal's official position. Me and John Bunn have been talking about this for a couple weeks now, and now we actually have an official title, and that is the Vice President of Global Talent Development. So I guess he's going to be scouting, he's going to be developing talent all over the world, and how this factors in with the potential sale of WWE, if that does go down, we don't know yet. But I mean, this definitely is kind of like, it's like they're going as business as usual, even with all of these rumors. William Regal had started back with WWE officially last week during SmackDown, and now his official title is revealed. He will have a backstage role. He cannot appear on WWE television until 2024, as per his deal with AEW. He's going to honor that deal with AEW, so we will not see William Regal on screen until 2024. Now, back to with Vince McMahon, okay? Vince McMahon coming back kind of caused a little static. A couple board of directors had left the second Vince McMahon was announced as coming back, and we talked about it last week. Now we kind of have a little bit more information on that. He brought in two of his own board of directors with him as two were leaving, and now a class action lawsuit is being filed against Vince McMahon by a former board member because this breaches the fiduciary duty as a controlling stockholder. We will be updating you on that as more stories come. But again, it's been a crazy week. Now, what this has me thinking is if WWE is sold, let's speculate on the Saudi Arabia news, or rumors, I should say. If it is sold to Saudi Arabia, what does that do as far as talent? I mean, we've been hearing about Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn being Israeli, I don't think he's going to be allowed to wrestle for them. I really don't know. Is the company going to be moved to Saudi Arabia if this happens? Will they still operate in America? Will certain talent be allowed to work like Sami Zayn? And what does this do for the female roster? Again, this is just me speculating. I do not have somebody to sit here and either argue or speculate with me today. So I'm just bringing you the news today and just giving you my own opinions. And my opinion is that I don't think it's a good deal ethically to sell to Saudi Arabia because of the political aspect of it. And I mean, there is that, what people say, quote unquote, blood money. And I always said, you don't become a millionaire or a billionaire without making some unethical or, kind of doing some shady type of deal. You name me one millionaire or billionaire that hasn't done a shady or unethical deal in their business. I would love for you guys to show me that, because I really haven't heard of any millionaire or billionaires that haven't. That's just business. That's just the sad fact of it. That's just how this world is. What's funny is Pun had brought up the sale to Disney, and we were just kind of joking around about that. And apparently this week they have been in talks with Disney, ESPN, NBC. So again, exactly who is buying the company, it's still up in the air. Right now we're just speculating. That's all this is right here, and we really can't say too much about that. I think the best bet may be with NBC because they already have the deal with Peacock, NBC, Comcast, and I think that's the easier route to go. But they are looking for the most lucrative deal, and that's exactly what Vince wants. Vince wants his money. And what's funny is I was joking about it with Pun that it's kind of like that 5-year-old that, he pops the football, because if he can't play, no one can play. And that's kind of what this reminds me of. It's like, if I can't have it, then nobody can have it. I'm going to sell it, and you guys can't have it. Triple H can't have it. Stephanie can't have it. Nick Khan can't have it. As far as the television product, so far this has not affected the television product. They haven't even mentioned it on TV, which I probably don't think they will. Maybe when something is official, they'll say it. But we did touch on the fact that they do plan on touring other countries. They're going to the London's O2 Arena for Money in the Bank this year. Who knows? The rumor right now is that the sale would happen mid 2023. So let's say maybe between May, June, we might have a little bit more solid, concrete information on the sale of WWE. Another route I think is a better route for WWE is maybe ESPN. They have had a working relationship with ESPN for a few years now, and ESPN being that sports network, I think that makes a little bit more sense than selling to Saudi Arabia or Disney. Now, if Disney does pick it up, I mean, it's already a family-friendly promotion. The sponsorships are there. But if it is sold to Disney, what does that do as far as the product? I mean, I've seen jokes on the internet, memes about how, they're going to have the fucking WWE universe, the Marvel universe, and the fucking Disney universe. That's crazy. I think they'd probably keep it a separate, entity, from that. That's just what I would do. But I think that the best choices here are selling to NBC, Comcast, or selling to ESPN. It kind of keeps it within the range of what they're already in, with people they're already working with. And not only are we talking about the sale of the company as a whole, but if the sale does not happen, if there is no sale of WWE, Vince's position also includes any television rights or anything. So if they want to go on a network in another country, in another market, Vince has the ultimate say in this. So anything that has to do with any sales of the product itself, the company itself, has to go through Vince McMahon. He has the final word. So it's kind of like he's back in power. And it seems like there's a stronghold on the company now from Vince McMahon. And again, it goes back to what I was just saying about, the kid who, if he can't play ball, nobody can play ball. So I'm going to fucking pop the ball. And I just personally feel that's what's going to happen. It's a scary thought to think that if they sell to Saudi Arabia, then, I mean, politically, I don't think that's a good move. They already do have that multi-year deal to bring the Crown Jewel events over there and the premium live events to Saudi Arabia. They do pay buku bucks. And of course, it's a lucrative deal, but sometimes money isn't everything. You could sell to Saudi Arabia and, your hands are clean of it, but are your hands really clean of it? Because you're selling to pretty much a country that has where the people in charge, the people running things in that country, have committed crimes against humanity. And to think that WWE would even think about making a sale to a country as a whole, it's a crazy thought. My mind is just all over the place right now as far as this sale. I wish I had one here to talk about it with me. But if it is indeed sold to Saudi Arabia, I think that puts AEW as the only game in town, because I really don't know of too many people that would want to work for WWE. And you hear these rumors of talent saying they're going to leave if this deal does happen. But they're contractually obligated. So whether the company is sold or not, their contracts are still with the company. So if they're under multi-year deals, let's say Sami Zayn is under a multi-year deal, him leaving or anybody else leaving would be a breach of contract, just like it would be now. It's not like because the sale of the company happens that all these contracts, no, they're still contractually obligated to the company itself. The sale of the company itself really wouldn't affect talent contracts. Now, I do believe if there's a mass walkout, yes, they would all be in breach of their contracts, but it's kind of like going on strike, and I think they would all have good reason to do that. And that's just my own opinion, and all I can give right now is opinions. We're going to move on to NXT New Year's Evil. Starting off, we had D-Jack defeating Tony D'Angelo in a singles match to determine the number one contender for the NXT North American Championship. It's nice to see D-Jack back in the fold here. I absolutely hated the T-Bar gimmick. I was not a fan really of Retribution, besides the push of Mustafa Ali. But D-Jack is a hell of a talent. If you watch his matches with Keith Lee in NXT, they fucking had a great saga going on there. And this match was really good. I enjoyed it. And it was a good opening match. Our second match was a gauntlet match to determine the number one contenders for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And we had Gallus, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang defeating Pretty Deadly, Elton Prince, and Kit Wilson, Idris Enofi and Malik Blade, and the Rockers, Jimmy Jackson and Brian Williams. Gallus is now the number one contenders for the NXT Tag Team Championships, which are held by the New Day. And I kind of like what they did with that. As they put New Day on NXT, it kind of puts a different spotlight on NXT. Just a little sidebar here that actually Pun had mentioned to me a couple days ago. NXT will be getting their first pay-per-view. Yes, they've done premium live events on Peacock, but they're getting their first pay-per-view. That's a big thing. And me and Pun have kept saying how NXT needs to be treated like a brand and not a developmental anymore. And we're starting to see more signs of that. I think that's the reason we're seeing New Day in NXT, is to kind of boost the brand. And I'd like to see more talent coming in. Even if it's just a one-off match, it makes it a big deal. Now, our third match, which this one surprised me that they put this on at third, it was the NXT Championship match between Braun Breaker and Grayson Waller. There was a count-out finish. Braun Breaker did win by count-out. I'm not a fan of count-out finishes, especially for championship matches, but I see this going a little bit further. I'm not too I'm not too big on Grayson Waller yet. That has nothing to do with his talent. I'm just kind of not attached to the gimmick yet. But I hope to, and I hope to see more of Grayson Waller's rise. Our next match, we've seen Charlie Dempsey, who is William Regal's son, defeat Hank Walker, who was accompanied by Drew Gulak. Charlie Dempsey wins by submission. I mean, when you look at it, I mean, it's Regal's son, bro, through and through. That's Regal's son. They don't have to put his name on there. They don't have to call him Charlie Regal or whatever they probably would have done if he would have used the Regal name. And I kind of like that they didn't put the Regal name on him. I like they're kind of making him his own person. The submission victory, I like it. I like seeing submission victories. It's very rare that you see a submission victory in WWE. And with a talent like Charlie Dempsey, now I'd really like to see some more Charlie Dempsey and Drew Gulak, two technical talents going at it. I know AEW is doing the best of 7 series with the 6-man tag team championships, but I would like to see maybe a best of 5, a best of 7 between Charlie Dempsey and Drew Gulak, with maybe going to an Iron Man submission match. Again, I'm fucking fantasy booking here. We had the returning Jinder Mahal with Sangha defeat Julius Creed by pinfall. Again, this is we're seeing another attempt at trying to push Jinder Mahal. And the thing with pushes is, yes, you could push the guy, but you have to continue to push him. You can't push him for a couple months and then just go stale with him. And I think that's been Jinder's hinder. I don't, it's been Jinder's hinder here is they give him these pushes, and then it's like, okay, the push is only going to be for a couple months. You expect us fans to, within a month or two, and only having limited television matches, to really be over with, have this guy over with us as wrestling fans. We need a little bit more time, and maybe him coming back to NXT will be that final push that he's like, okay, this is fucking it. After this NXT run, I can go back to the main roster, and maybe I'll be treated as a serious threat to a main title, because he is a former SmackDown champion. He did hold the title, and I did like the run with it. I liked that they were pushing him, and then it's kind of like they just dropped the ball. And it seems they have that common problem of just dropping the ball. Let the guy go. Let the guy go. Let's see what he can really do. I'm not talking about a month, 2 months, 3 months. Let's get a nice a year of pushing him. And I think that's good. A year is maybe for some people maybe a little too long of a time, but I think it's enough time to really get a character over, whether you want him as a face or a heel, which he's currently heel. He's been heel most of his career. Just you don't have to shove him down our throats, but let us see him. I'm not talking about a 3-minute match on Raw and then you don't see him again. Like, no, you got to constantly feature him on TV. And I understand there's a boatload of talent in WWE, and you have to kind of give each guy their own time. But if you're going to push a guy, that's how you push a guy. That's how they did it back in the day. Like, you've seen the guys on TV constantly, whether they were cutting promos, whether they were in matches, they're doing segments. Give him something. Let's fucking not hinder Jinder anymore. Let's give Jinder Mahal his due right now. And I think it's about time. Jinder is like, fuck it, let's fucking go. I'm ready. I think he's been ready for a while. Our 6th match and main event. I fucking love these short cards WWE's doing lately. I love the 6-match card. I'm a big fan of 6 matches. I think I say it after every pay-per-view or premium live event. I always say, hey, I love the idea that they're going with 6 matches. You give everybody enough time. I mean, Jinder Mahal had 9 minutes and 52 seconds. The tag team, the number 1 contendership for the tag team title was 9 minutes and 36 seconds. The opening match between Dijak and Tony D'Angelo was 10 minutes and 4 seconds. And this main event here that we're getting to right now was a 20-woman battle royal to determine a number 1 contender to the NXT Championship at Vengeance Day. This match was 13 minutes, and Gigi Dolan and J.C. Jane defeated Ivy Nile, Tatum Paxley, Alba Fire, Danny Palmer, Valentina Feroz, Cora Jade, Zoe Stark, Kiana James, Elektra Lopez, Lash Legend, Amari Miller, Sol Ruka, Wendy Chu, Indy Hartwell, Fallon Henley, Nikita Lyons, Lyra Valkyria and Tia Hall. And it's funny how they had Gigi Doll and JC Jane both win. I want to see where they go with this going forward. You know, there has to be one number. There can't be two number one contenders, right? Unless they go into like a triple threat match. But I think we're gonna see the split of Gigi Dolan and the whole toxic attraction thing. I think we're gonna see that split, especially with Mandy Rose no longer with the company. I think we're gonna see that. I've never been a fan of battle royals. I think the only battle royal I really like is the Royal Rumble, and that's because of the history, and you never know what's gonna happen here. As a pro wrestler, I hate being in battle royals. I try to find the fucking way out of it. Get me out first, eliminate me first, let me hide under the. I really hate battle royals because most of the time, unless it's done really like by WWE and timed out correctly, if you go to an indie event, most battle royals, Royal Rumble, whatever you want to call it, they're long as fuck, and they're fucking. It's just everywhere. It's just a clusterfuck. So it's kind of, I hate fucking battle royals. Now, the thing with Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, they both landed on the floor at the same time, and the two referees supporting both of them respectively. Then the head referee had decided that there wasn't any clear winner, so both women won the match. I think we're either going to see that triple threat match or we're going to see the one-on-one match to determine the true number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. The NXT Women's Championship is currently held by Roxanne Perez. She was a great indie talent, trained by Booker T. She's now getting that shine, and I like it. She's been improving. Another person that's been improving is Cora Jade. I think we're going to see Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez kind of married to each other. And no, I don't mean married as in a legal marriage. I mean in wrestling terms, they're gonna be stuck together for a while. Like it's gonna kind of be like Trish and Lita, where Trish is, kryptonite is Lita, Lita's kryptonite is Trish, and they're just, that's gonna be the feud. Like in the next 10 years, you're gonna talk about Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. I see more of that coming, even though, we're throwing in the Gigi Dolan, the JC Jane, the Alba Fires, where I think we're going to see a lot more of them too. And that's really the only, really that all I have for you guys today. And like I said, this was going to be a short episode. Please, if you have any comments, if you want to talk to us in the comments, you can leave comments below. You can hit us up in the DMs. You can hit us up personally on our social media accounts, and we want that interaction. We want to know what you think, what you feel, how you think storylines are gonna go. And please tell us what you think about the potential sale of WWE. Let's go. Let's fucking talk it out. Let's argue. Let's agree. Let's talk about this. Let's keep talking about professional wrestling, because that's what we do here. And I think I'm gonna end it on that note. So thanks to each and every one of you for tuning into another episode of the Four Corners Podcast on the Four Corners Network. If you want to stay updated on everything we're doing here on the Four Corners Network, as well as the addition of the Around the Ropes podcast and the Around the Ropes Network here on the Four Corners Network, you can find that above my head at Four Corners Net. That's at number 4 Corners Net. If you want to follow me on all social media platforms, you can do so at Rex Wrestles. That's at REX Wrestles. And you can find Pun on Twitter and Instagram only at John Pun. That's at JONPUNN. As always, be excellent to each other and keep supporting pro wrestling.